On one night every year, across Eastern Europe, thousands of people gather to jump through raging bonfires, send burning wreaths down rivers, and disappear into dark forests searching for a flower that doesn't exist. This isn't folklore. For over 1,000 years, the Christian church tried everything to stop this pagan celebration. They failed. And what happens during Kupala Night is far stranger than you can imagine. This is the one night when ancient Slavic traditions explode back to life, and you're about to find out why nothing could kill them. Kupala Night happens every year on June 23rd to 24th, marking the summer solstice in the Slavic calendar. It's named after an ancient Slavic deity associated with fertility, water, and the sun's power. When Christianity spread through Eastern Europe starting in the 10th century, church authorities faced a problem. Every other pagan festival? Relatively easy to suppress. But Kupala Night was different. It was so deeply embedded in Slavic culture, in every village from Poland to Russia, that people simply refused to give it up. The church tried everything. They issued bans. Priests condemned it from pulpits. They even declared the celebrations work of the devil. Medieval church documents describe priests literally watching helplessly as entire villages ignored them and continued the rituals. Finally, the church gave up trying to eliminate it. Instead, they renamed it the Feast of St. John the Baptist, trying to Christianize it. But here's the thing. People just called it both names and kept doing exactly what they'd always done. The pagan rituals never stopped. The central ritual of Kupala Night is fire. Communities build massive bonfires, some reaching over 3 meters high, and then people jump over them. This isn't symbolic. This is real fire, real danger, real jumps. Young couples hold hands and leap together through the flames. The belief was simple. Make it across while holding hands, and your relationship will last. Let go mid-jump, and you're destined to separate. Unmarried women jump to predict their marriage prospects. The higher and cleaner the jump, the better the match coming their way. In traditional celebrations, participants wore minimal clothing, adorned mainly with flower wreaths and garlands, believing the fire purified both body and spirit. Historical records from ethnographers in the 19th century documented these practices in detail, noting that the fire jumping was treated with absolute seriousness. This wasn't entertainment. It was divination, purification, and prayer all combined into one dangerous leap. And yes, people still do this today. Modern Kupala Night festivals feature the same fire-jumping rituals, though nowadays there are usually paramedics standing by. Here's where Kupala Night gets mystical. Slavic tradition holds that on this one night, at exactly midnight, ferns bloom with a glowing, magical flower. There's just one scientific problem. Ferns don't produce flowers. They reproduce through spores. It's botanically impossible. But that's exactly the point. Finding the fern flower would grant you incredible powers, the ability to understand animal speech, see hidden treasures buried in the earth, make yourself invisible, and unlock secrets of the universe. But the flower appears for a single moment at midnight, and the forest is guarded by evil spirits determined to stop you. Young people would venture deep into the forests in pairs, searching until dawn. Polish ethnographic records from the 1800s noted that these forest expeditions were well known to have romantic purposes beyond flower hunting, and communities tacitly accepted this as part of the tradition. The fern flower represents something profound, the search for impossible magic on a night when impossible things feel within reach. Kupala Night is equally about water as it is fire. Rivers become centers of divination and ritual. Girls spend days before the festival weaving intricate wreaths from wildflowers, herbs, and grasses. On Kupala Night, they light candles on these wreaths and set them floating down rivers. The wreath's journey tells the future. If it floats far and steady, marriage is near. If a young man catches your wreath downstream, tradition says he may become your husband. If the wreath sinks or the candle goes out quickly, you'll remain unmarried another year. Mass bathing in rivers and lakes is another key tradition. Entire communities would enter the water together at dawn, believing it washed away sickness, bad luck, and spiritual impurity. Folklorist Alexander Afanasov documented these practices extensively in the 1860s, noting that water rituals were considered as essential as the fires. There's also a darker element. Kupala Night is when rusalki, spirits of drowned women in Slavic mythology, are most active. These aren't gentle spirits. They're dangerous entities, said to pull men underwater. So the celebration always carried an edge of genuine fear alongside the joy. You might assume this is all historical, something that faded away. It hasn't. The format has evolved slightly. There's folk music concerts, craft markets, and yes, social media documentation, but the core rituals remain unchanged: fire, water, flowers, and forest. What makes Kupala Night survive when thousands of other pagan festivals died out? It's participatory. You don't watch Kupala Night, you do it. You jump the fire yourself. You weave your own wreath. You take your own chances in the forest. In a world of passive entertainment and digital experiences, Kupala offers something irreplaceable: direct connection to earth, fire, water, and traditions stretching back thousands of years. Kupala Night proves that some traditions are too powerful to kill. Not because they're preserved in museums or protected by laws, but because they fulfill something fundamental in human nature: the need to connect with elements, with mystery, with each other, and with something older than ourselves. Every June 23rd, as the sun barely sets on the shortest night of the year, fires light up across Eastern Europe. People jump, wreaths float, couples disappear into forests, and for one night, the ancient world comes roaring back to life. The church couldn't stop it. Communism couldn't stop it. Modernity hasn't stopped it. Like and share the video. Subscribe for more stories like this.